Get some paper out and solve this differential equation with me. This doesn't have any x's in it as far as we can see here, but that y dash is dy on dx. Okay, so what we want to do here is take that y over to the right-hand side. So we have dy on dx is y squared minus y. Okay, now let's divide both sides by y squared minus y. Take the dx over to the right-hand side, put our integral sign on. So we have this. And now we want to integrate. Now the right-hand side is really easy to integrate. The left-hand side requires partial fractions. And so how do we do that? Well, we set 1 over y squared minus y equal to a over one of the factors plus b over the other factor. And we've got to work out what the a and the b are. So we multiply a times y minus 1 and b times y, add those two together. So in other words, we put this back together. A outside of y minus 1 plus b times y over y minus 1. Now that numerator there has to be equal to 1 if we're to find the a and b. So we have a y minus 1 plus b times y equals 1. To find the a and the b, what we can do is say when this one vanishes, and so we have b times 1 is 1, and so b is equal to 1. Now, when y is equal to 0, this one vanishes, and we have minus a for this, plus 0 is 1, and so a is minus 1. Okay, now that we have this, we can integrate the left-hand side and say this is minus 1 over y plus 1 dy over y minus 1. Okay, and so we have then minus the natural log of y plus the natural log of y minus 1. And we can express this as, using a log rule, the natural log of the quotient of those two. Natural log of y minus 1 over y is equal to the integral of the right-hand side, which is just x plus c. Okay, so now that we have this, it remains to put this in a somewhat nicer form if we can. And so that would be y minus 1 over y equals e to the power of x plus c, but we can write this as e to the c, e to the x, and then e to the c is a constant, let's call it a. Y minus 1 over y is a, e to the x. So finally, what we can do is tidy this up and even express y as a function of x. So to do that, we take the y over to the right-hand side, add 1 to both sides, take this back over to the left-hand side, and factor the common y out. And now we want to divide by this, and we get y equals 1 over, in brackets, 1 minus a e to the x, just like that.